Yellowjacket baseball getting ready to hit the road again. Another trip this week. Matt, reflect on the series last week. You guys came away with a split against Colorado Mesa. That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely, especially after dropping the first two, the way we kind of bounced back and competed. It was really good to see. We had a lot of kids step up and good step in the right direction for sure.
Talk about some of those young arms, especially like in the last game, sophomore Steen Fredrickson and then the freshman Sam Mushkot really pitched you guys to victory. That's got to be good as a senior on the staff to see those young guys.
Absolutely. It's really big time when you get them young guys that are out there competing, just doing their job, executing pitches. And I mean, we talked about Steam and Sam, but Harry also came in cold off the bench in the win we had the game before. So, I mean, a lot of good things from our younger guys.
Talk about your second year in the program now. You're a senior on the staff. How's the season gone so far? What have you focused on in your starts, and what are you looking forward to this week?
For me personally, I've just kind of been focusing on executing my pitches, being in the strike zone, keeping the tempo of the game, getting the defense involved, all those types of things, and obviously giving our team the best chance to win that I can. This weekend, just keep building, keep getting better every week. Focus more, executing more off-speed pitches. I think Dixie State's definitely going to be a good offensive team. We're going to need to be able to execute off-speed as well as fastball command. So just kind of building every weekend, stuff like that.
Now you've been through the GNAC one time as a junior on the staff last year. You have one more non-conference series to prepare for that. But what's going to be your focus with you and Coop, the seniors on the staff, and getting into this GNAC schedule?
Just kind of continuing to build. I think we're honestly in a great path to start off conference. I think we've seen a lot of good things from our pitching staff. I think we've continued to get better every weekend, and I think we've got a lot of guys that are going to give us a really good shot at winning this thing this year.
Yeah, the previous weekend we hadn't really gotten used to playing outside, and I think it was good for us to kind of find our identity this past weekend against Mesa. I think we really brought it both in the dugout and on the field, really found what it takes to win at this level, and we definitely felt more comfortable this past weekend, so it was great to have a split.
You've had quite the start to your year offensively, which is an area I know you wanted to improve on. Talk about the power numbers specifically. You hit your first career home run, a bunch of doubles so far. What did you work on over the summer, and how's that translating so far?
Yeah, I think I just have a more consistent approach. I feel much more comfortable being aggressive and attacking pitches that I think I can go drive. I think, I've gotten a couple more reps under my belt, a couple more ABs at the college level, and I feel just the bottom line a lot more comfortable. So
now you have a chance to regularly handle this pitching staff, and that really was a big factor in getting a series split. You guys didn't win game one with Coop, but you had a 7-2 lead late. You really did a great job pitching overall. Talk about first the senior Cody and how he's improving start to start.
Yeah, Cody, he's gonna give you everything he's got every single time he goes out there. And I think that week to week he really hones in on what he needs to work on. So it was nice to see him pitch well again for us, and I'm excited to see how he's going to pitch, this next weekend, the weekend after that, because, as people have probably started to notice, he gets better and better, works his tail off, really has been huge for us.
Now you should get some of the credit for the GNAC Pitcher of the Week award, which the Yellowjackets took home. Sam Mushkot got that, but you got to be on the receiving end for 5 perfect innings, and really Steen Fredrickson before him in that last game was almost equally as impressive. Talk about the way those two young guys threw.
We needed those guys big time. We were going to be short on arms, and those guys both stepped up, both were comfortable, they didn't fold under the pressure of being in a big game for us, and I've seen it before. Those guys both know how to compete, but it was big time seeing those guys do it against another team and really step up for us in that moment.
Talk about Dixie State. That's who you're facing this week, a 3-game series, your last chance at non-conference play before you get into the league schedule. What are you going to focus on? What's the team going to focus on in this last non-conference series?
Yeah, I think we're going to focus on really staying consistent and bringing the exact same energy, the same intensity that we started to play with this past weekend against Mesa. And I think that, Dixie's a team that's going to bring it. They're going to be ready to go. They're going to put pressure on us, but I think we've got what it takes to return the pressure and really give them our best. So I'm excited for this weekend. I think that it's always important early in the year to go and showcase what we're capable of, and I'm really excited for this coming weekend against Dixie.
Yeah, no question. I think, it's always tough not getting your first win under your belt, but the guys just kept grinding. They kept believing, kept competing. I think that was kind of the difference in that series at Mesa is that we got our hearts broken that first game, but we just kept coming out and trying to get better with what we've been talking about all week in practice. We were fortunate enough to walk away there with the split.
Talk about some of the individual performances that stood out to you. MSUB swept the GNAC Player and Pitcher of the Week, Zach Robinson, on the offensive end and defensively in center, and then Sam Mushkot, the freshman pitcher.
Yeah, Zach's been having really good at-bats all year long. He didn't have a lot to show for it down at Golden when we played Mines, but coming out against Mesa, he really sparked our offense, just getting on base a lot, had some extra base hits for us, ran the bases extremely well, and then played a solid defensive center field. Sam being a young guy, man, it was his first outing as a collegiate baseball player, and the guy has a lot of personality. He pitches with a chip on his shoulder, and to throw 5 perfect innings to wrap up the series was very impressive for him, and we're really looking forward to getting him back up on the mound soon.
It looked like maybe in the Colorado Mine Series where you guys didn't do as well, the big hit wasn't coming here and you were leaving some runners on base. It looked like you were getting more of those big hits in the series against Mesa. Talk about your approach at the plate and why things worked out better.
A lot of that just kind of goes with the ebb and flows of the game of baseball. I think a lot of times you have things go your way and sometimes you don't. We try to create our own luck, and we really harped on them this week as far as our approach goes with runners on base and maybe cutting it down a little bit and not looking for the big extra base hit with guys on base. And I think it really helped us. I think we had 9 2-out RBIs in the series and just some clutch hitting, guys sticking to their approach and their plan, and just trusting the system that we've been talking about for the last week.
Defense was another thing that hurt you in some of the early games, but as of late, it's been a lot better. Steen Fredrickson and Sam retired the last 18 hitters that they faced in that game against Mesa, and I don't think there were any strikeouts there, so the defense is getting the job done too.
Yeah, I think, one thing that really goes into that is our pitchers kept our defense in the game, working at a good pace, throwing a lot of strikes, keeping them mentally in tune with what was going on. And, obviously as we get outside more and we get more reps and our guys get more comfortable, we're going to play more or a better, clean defensive game. We've talked about it a lot as a team that we've got to be better defensively. We've got to have playmakers that go out there and get us off the field. And as we showed throughout the series, I think as we went on, we started proving that we can do that. And this is going to be a very good defensive team. We just have to continue to get better.
Now Dixie State for 3 games. You're headed to St. George, leaving on Wednesday morning. Talk about your final 3 non-conference games, what you're expecting to get out of this series.
Kind of going to sound like a broken record, but we've got to go into it the mindset that we've got to improve as a club. Playing another quality opponent, we're going to be tested on the road. Coach Phaeton-Howard does an outstanding job down there at Dixie, and our guys are going to be challenged. And we've kind of just set the message this week is embrace the challenge, embrace the challenge of getting on the road, playing a quality opponent. We've got to walk out of that thing feeling really good about ourselves heading into conference play.